Great. Welcome back to Life is Hard TV, life show for the rest of us.
Hi, everybody.
Here with Jon Haight again at the GlenRo Spirit Shop, Monroe, Connecticut, when we have a couple of new wines to try out. So, very exciting. Let's get to it. What do we have today, Jon?
Today we're doing two wines as usual, a white and a red. We always start with the white most of the time. And today it's a Chardonnay from Edna Valley Vineyard. And
give them a light close up of there.
yeah, Edna Valley is on the California, obviously, and it's above Los Angeles but below San Francisco, right on the ocean.
Okay.
You get a lot of cooling breezes, which is really important because some spots in California are really hot. It's not so great for the grapes to be that warm.
Right.
It's nice when they have a chance to cool off, so you get the fog rolling in off the ocean, keeps it cool. Grapes don't get that cooked thing. So,
Yep.
So this is
Is
2008.
that kind of all what you just said, all true for most grapes, or more pertinent to Chardonnay? Because, like we were talking about earlier, that it kind of affects the taste of the Chardonnay, the climate, etc.
Yeah. If you look at Old World, which is Europe, the climates where many of the Chardonnays are grown are much cooler, and the grapes struggle to ripen. When they do ripen, everything works right. They're perfect. They're wonderful wines. In California, they don't have that problem, and sometimes they can get too ripe, and that's what happens when it's too warm. They get overripe.
Okay.
You can taste that.
Yep.
And so they taste clumsy. They don't taste balanced. But if you can get a region where it's warm in the day and cool at night, that's the best thing for grapes. The acidity stays in there. The flavors develop.
Right.
So let's give this one a go.
Great. And one thing that was interesting that Jon shared with me earlier is that Chardonnay is the most common grape.
Well, probably the biggest selling wine.
Biggest selling wine. Not the most common grape. Not technically correct. The best selling wine, which is interesting because of the wine drinkers I know, not many seem to drink Chardonnay. So
right, there's almost a backlash against Chardonnay now. You hear anything but Chardonnay, the ABCs.
Right.
And a lot of people are tired of it. And what happened was a lot of Chardonnays got way over oaked. So all you tasted was oak. You didn't taste the fruit. Now when you taste this, I want you to look for a little peach, a little bit of pear, and then a little bit of spice.
I smelled pear on that right there.
So with California Chardonnays, you get more tropical flavors too. Back in the old world, you're going to get more minerals, steel.
You know,
you get that almost like a baked pear.
I had a baked pear. That's kind of interesting. I had a dinner party last weekend, and one of the guests, name was Peter, really into wine tasting a little bit, and he taught me something.
You didn't invite me?
Yeah, next time, definitely. We're going to do a GlenRo party. But I learned something interesting, and it really worked. We talked about one of the earlier episodes, actually sniffing the wine, short sniffs versus one long sniff. And what he told me to do was lean forward more into the glass, and it was amazing how much more of the aroma I got. So instead of, it was more, and it seemed to open up the passageways, big difference. So try that out, folks.
There's another technique if you have a full-size glass, not our little samplers, but do that and put your hand over it, swirl it, and then get your nose in there, and that seems to even trap some of the aromas. So there's a lot of ways to do it.
Different sniffing tips, folks. But and even out of the paper cup, I get a sense of that pear, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, pear, peach, a little hint of acidity there too.
Pretty good for a Chardonnay.
Right. That's an $11 wine. Not that expensive. All right, number two is kind of unusual in that it's so young.
Where'd that water come? That water was good. Is that Connecticut water?
Yeah. Only the finest water here.
Right out of the back room.
This is so young. This is, you can almost call it a nouveau. This is from France, and it's a Merlot from Maison Nicolas. And it's 2009, which means it's only recently been bottled, and that's really young. The Nouveau Beaujolais come out just before Thanksgiving. This is almost like that. This is only a little bit older than a Nouveau Beaujolais. And you'll taste it. You'll get that kind of grapey, primary flavors. But this would be good for a picnic, something like that, something a little lighter.
I mean, does a new wine, an 09 wine, mean a bad wine?
No, it's just...
I mean, do the price ranges vary?
Well, usually what it is with red wines you usually age either in a large barrel or stainless steel and throw some oak into it in the form of cubes. And this has no oak at all. You'll see stainless steel. And it was just bottled very young to keep that super fruity So you'll see when you taste it. Very grapey almost.
I'm trying to see if I can guess, or what it smells like to me anyway, based on my limited palate.
Well, I'll let you go first. You say it first. Now Merlot, the typical profile for Merlot, I'll help you out. Think cherries, black cherry, and you do get a little of that in this. Just a little bit, maybe a little tiny bit of herbal, and again, no oak at all.
Little basil.
Yeah.
I'll go a little basil. Not going cilantro, but I'll go basil, maybe a little Italian parsley.
But after you taste it, you see what I mean? Very grapey, very...
Yeah.
Still into the primary stages. So, if I was going to have this, I would have this, chill it down, have it, outside for a picnic.
Right.
Really simple food, nothing fancy, just...
I guess my question is, would I pay $10 for an 09? Or does it really matter? It's all taste.
It's all taste, yeah.
Just because you pay 10 for an 06 doesn't mean it's going to be that much better.
No, but you get different flavors. You get more secondary flavors. As the wine in the bottle develops, it changes, and it develops more flavor.
It also depends upon the grape and the vintage, et cetera, because an 05 Merlot in California, a certain region might have been an excellent year.
Exactly, yeah.
So
the year means a lot. It's good to know wine to wine which year you prefer.
Right.
So.
Is there any way our viewers can do a little research? Can you go on and say Google 2005 certain region in Italy and get a sense as to how the harvest was that year?
What you could do is just look for vintage charts, and a lot of magazines will have them, or you could probably find them online. And you just can look, follow. Italy 2008. They'll tell you they'll either do like 5 stars or rated with number ratings.
Right.
Not ready to drink, ready to drink. So you can, and you can see some years like I think it was 2002 Italy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it had a lot of rain.
So that's called the vintage chart.
Vintage chart.
Okay, it's good to know. It's good to know because I didn't know. I kind of had a sense that I knew that certain regions, certain grapes had better years than others.
Yeah.
And that's the way to find it.
And it's all climate.
The vintage chart.
It's all climate. Yep. If it's sunny and not a lot of problems, no hail, not rain at harvest, things go good.
Yeah. For instance, last year here in New England region, the tomatoes were horrible. We had so much rain. June was kind of a washout.
Yeah. I heard
a lot of people struggled with tomatoes.
Long Island grape grower said it's the worst season ever.
Is that right? Yeah. So don't buy tomatoes from the Northeast. Actually, you can't from 09 because they're long gone anyway. Unless someone froze them. Mine actually came out okay for some reason, but I think I got lucky.
Yeah.
So I have my pots on the deck. We'll get into some gardening stuff at some point. But I have the big pots on the deck that you can roll around, so I was able to move them around and all that, and they didn't get totally drenched. I think the drainage is better too. So, but anyway, we went off on a tangent. We went off on a tannin. Are there any tannins in this?
No,
no tannins. No. Too young for tannins?
Well, no. The way they handle it, the way they press it, and the grapes themselves.
And it's stainless steel, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay, well, John, thanks so much.
No, you're welcome.
2 new wines to try out.
Yep.
Check them out in your local wine shop, folks, or come down here to GlenRo, Connecticut, Monroe.
That's right.
And
remember, life is hard, but choosing a good wine shouldn't be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Check out John's site also, Wine Unwrapped. It's evolving. It's getting better. We're going to be changing,
Dave's going to show me how to get the videos on there.
Exactly. So. And he just got a new job. Well, tell us real quick about your new job. This guy teaching
finishing
wine.
Off a semester at University of New Haven doing wine appreciation. So.
Excellent. So he's going to be teaching the young kids about wine. So excellent.
All right.
Thanks everyone. Life's Hard TV. Like, share for the rest of us.
Oops. Watch your head.
Oh.